feeling lost and I have nowhere else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home now. Everybody hating on I feel so cold now. Why do everybody make me feel alone? Like I'm feeling lost and I have nowhere else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home.
Naruto walked down to the Hokage's house, holding his report. He had gone on the assassin mission and had written a report strictly after right now, working as his life. It took a focus off his brother's death, of his neglect, of all the pain around him. Naruto wondered why the Hokage wasn't in his office these past couple of days, but shrugging it off as laziness. As Naruto arrived to the door, he knocked heavily on the wood. As a couple of seconds later, Kushina pulled out the door. Her face shrugged in exhaustion. Hey, Nightfox. She smiled weakly and bags evidence on her eyes. Hey, Naruto replied timidly. Oh boy, Kushina muttered under her breath. What? Naruto asked, tensed up. Nothing, Kushina sighed out before hitting the floor. Kushina, Naruto yelled as he picked her up. Kushina woke up into the hospital bed. Her kindness haze. Minato, she asked wearily. Nope, Kushina heard. As her eyes cleared up, she saw Night Fox leaning against the wall. Night Fox? She asked goggly, laying back on her bed. Yep, Naruto replied. Oh, Night Fox, you're only 12. You shouldn't have to deal with a faint woman like me. Kushina giggled as she tried to pull herself out of bed. Stop, Naruto exclaimed as he ran at light speed and pushed her back into bed. Your body can't walk yet, he then said, resorting back in his cold self. But my baby, she sighed, closing her tired eyes. Baby, Naruto asked curiously. Yes, haven't you heard? My little baby bundle of joy, Menma, Kushina said, happily hugging herself tightly. On Menma? Naruto talked to himself before standing up. Well, I have to go, Naruto said, strictly in his doorway. Wait, Night Fox, Kushina yelled, holding her arm out. Yes, Naruto asked, briskly itching to get out of the room and the hospital. Find my son Naruto, she wept. She hated us, but I want him as the heir. And the Ambu couldn't find him. She continued to weep, but maybe you can, she finished, wiping her tears from her face. I'll try, Naruto said blandly as he stepped out of the room as raced out of the hospital. I'll try. Minato, your wife just passed out from the exhaustion. Go visit her. Asuma lectured, trying to pull Minato out of his chair. She can't wait right now. I have to set Myanmar for his bedtime and read him a story. Minato sighed, hugging Myanmar close. But your wife, Minato glared his eyebrows furiously. Fine. Asuma growled, stepping out of the house. Your wife is too good for you, anyways. Days went. The only Kurenai, Azuma, and the associate visits from Night Fox to cheer Kushina up. Kushina often tried to get a hold of Minato, only to know that he was too busy with Menma. God damn it, Minato, she muttered under her breath as she set up the hospital phone down. For the fourth time, the day she can't even visit me, she growled, clenching her fist, covering her face as she looked down, tears forming in her eyes. Why the hell did I think having a child was a good idea? She wiped, covering her face with her hands. Due to her neglection of her self-care, her hair was strewn down across her tears, covering her tangled evidence in once illusion knots of red hair she had. Minutes later, right now, you have to care for yourself, Kushina heard as she wiped her tears. Night Fox? She asked, looking up. Guess right. Naruto shrugged, leaning against the doorway. Why doesn't Minato love me? She asked, looking straight at him. He does, just not the way he loves Menma, Naruto sighed. I see, Kushina said, looking down angrily, holding up her fist. I see. Naruto jumped his gloves hand on the table, moonlight peering through the curtains, left uncovering on the window by the drape as the light fell on the table outline as rugged wood fell. He thought about whether revealing himself to Kushina would be good idea. She seems desperate enough, sobbing away, neglecting self-care, wishing for her lost son and a husband who doesn't love her. Clipping on his mask and slipping on his ample pants, he leaned on the table, creating a creaky noise, frightening the mouse on the other side of the table. Deciding that revealing himself to Kushina was a good choice, he prepared to go to the hospital, but first he had to go somewhere special, to his big brother's grave. Minato had started training Menma. He wasn't very good, considering how small he was. About he felt like something was wrong, forming a Rasengan. To show Menma, he realized what was missing: his wife. He was angry, outbursts, and furious. Punch she showed in front of her kid. Her determination to make her children the next Hokage. Her habit of combining through her fiery red hair when she was nervous. Well, Menma, he said, looking down at the boy hanging on his pants leg. Time to meet your mom, he finished, picking up the boy, holding him in his arms. Naruto wiped the tears from his eyes, his unclipped mask laying beside, sitting next to the grave. He sighed. So, big brother, a lot has happened since you were gone. Kushina wants me now, and I want a little brother. He sighed out, next to him. Grave, ignoring the coldness and freezing water as he laid his head on the top of the grave. So, how's stuff been upside, Kakashi? Naruto said as he laid in the drew grass next to the grave, closed his eyes. He felt sobbing, brushing his face. I hope you're well, Naruto finished, uncrapping the bottle of sake. Staying happy up there, Kakashi, he said softly as he poured of ember liquid in the dirt. Tossing the bottle floor, Naruto clipped his mask back as he slipped back to the darkness, walking to the hospital, hoping Kushina would accept him. Naruto jumped from the trees to trees before landing to the rooftop of the villagers. Racing silently across the rooftops, he saw the hospital bright light shining across the large building. Landing on the window slide, Kushina room, he saw flash yellow hair and small children before hiding his chocolate signature and pushed himself on the brick outside of the window. Hanging on the red brick above 16 other floors, he listened in Kushina. Naruto heard Minato speak solemnly. Finally, what did I do to you? Kushina growled out, crossing her arms. Nothing, I was just busy. Minato chuckled, nervously rubbing his back of his head. Oh, shut up, Kushina yelled. You could have visited me any time, but no. You let the eldest son get away and you are ignoring me and your daughter for Menma? You even ignored Minato. Just get out, Kushina finished, her hair flying around her face as she pointed at the door. But you didn't even like Naruto. I did you a favor, Minato growled back. So? He even better than air than Nato. She can't even perform a damn chakra chain. Kushina yelled back. So, I bet Naruto couldn't do it either, Minato said, raising his hand up. So, he threw you across the house. When he came back, had skills. He had potential. He is a horrible child I hated, but he is a good for the air. And I know he is better than your sorry excuse for our children. Kushina wiped angrily. As tears slipped down from her eyes, that's it, Minato yelled. His hand formed a slap. He moved to slap her across her face, was stopped by a very fast Night Fox. Lord Hokage, Night Fox growled furiously. Get out of here, Night Fox. This is none of your business, Minato growled, fighting the grip of Night Fox's hands of his wrist. I think it is, after all. You were about to hit your wife, Naruto said, pushing his hand down. Get out, Naruto growled out, pushing him through the doorway. Kushina, tell him I meant no harm, Minato cried out loud. Kushina just stared at him, wiping her tears from her face. So, what did you say about Naruto? Being a horrible child you hate? Night Fox questioned as he tilted up Kushina's head as it torn him. Sakura walked down the cold central of the sidewalk. Naruto house. Night Fox Sensei, she called, banging the door of his house. She had went out with her friends but had to come back for her metal training. After Itachi Genjutsu were questioned, traumatized after banging on his door for 2 minutes, she had determined he wasn't home. Pushing the door the open, which was surprisingly unlocked, she stepped inside. While I'm here, I should look for clues for Kakashi's murderer. She wiped under her breath. Walking around, spotted Kakashi was found. She crouched low, looking under the couch. Kakashi's body was next to. She found a small bottle of number 7 engraved on the center. What the hell? She gasped, inspecting the evidence. Ha! You should have left it. I didn't even want to kill you. Sakura heard before turning around to see a figure lunging at her. Sakura screamed, running out. Oh, shush, little one. Hearing a pierce of scream, Naruto dropped his hands on Kushina's face and turned towards the window. Did you hear that? Naruto questioned, turning back around to face Kushina. Yeah, it's probably Minato telling Naruto I hate him, Kushina muttered, back looking down. Why do you hate him? Naruto asked. I want Naruto to be the heir. I worked so hard to train her to be the best, and then Naruto just came back in our life after 7 goddamn years away, stronger than any of us. Kushina sobbed as she punched the hospital while leaving a dent size of a tennis ball. I'm tired of Konoha thinking only men can do everything. That why I neglected Naruto for caring for Naruto. And then as he walked off, he didn't notice two people watching him. Once he wanted him dead, and the other one crying for him in the window. As she noticed what she had just done, seeing the fiery blonde hair, she guessed that it could have been Naruto. I'm sorry, Naruto. I really am sorry. Sakura panted heavily as she held the area that was bleeding on her chest. Helped, she called out weakly as she felt warm blood pool around her. Please, somebody, she called out, only to find out that nobody was near. Gripping her chest, which had the number 7 engraved on it, she pulled it on her waist. If I die, at least they'll know now who hurt Kakashi. This is the evidence. At least now they'll know. And then Sakura let out a heavy breath as she closed her eyes, finally knowing her fate was accepted. I'm sorry, Sensei, that I didn't